Awesome. I
Excellent.
don't know who's going to start today. Is it going to be you, Pierre, or is it going to be me?
I'm happy to start, Jackie. Thank you so much for being part of this series. I'm really excited to get started on a new project that we're going to be working on. Uh, I think you're going to give us a recap here shortly, but last couple sessions we created rather from scratch a complete kindergarten website or preschool website. I'm excited to see what we're going to come up with today. We're going to launch a new series, and I'm really, really excited to get it going.
I agree with you. I had so much fun in the last 2 weeks. I have to admit, it actually put me back into that mode of, that is why I'm building websites, because of Builderall. And I'm not just being biased. I know people are going to say, "Oh, you biased." It just makes it so much easier to build things in our platform than try to go and do something in a WordPress or any of those others. It's just the freedom of design, basically, and you can really create so many awesome things. So yes, I hope that the people that are going to watch today get excited as well, and they're going to go watch the previous sessions that we've done. We've actually shared a lot of information there, a lot of tips, a lot of tricks, things that we don't normally do inside of a tutorial. And it's those hidden gems that is really so important. So I really urge you, if you are a person that wants to create something awesome, go and watch that series instead of scrolling on social media for endless hours like we sometimes do. You guys will benefit from it quite a lot. And if you want to, we are going to share with you a direct link. So if you are a Builderall member, you would be able to click on the link that we are going to supply, and you will be able to download this template right into your dashboard, and you can go play around with it, click on it, see how we added it and changed and adjusted. It's just going to make it so much easier for you. And then you can even use it as a template yourself if you are an agency or you want to do something in that similar way. So that is the one part of it. And the other link we're going to share is the playlist inside of YouTube. It's funny that a lot of people don't know where to find a playlist. So the first one that I'm going to drop here in the comments is going to be the playlist. So if you are watching the session, you will be seeing the YouTube playlist right here. If you're watching the replay, you might not see it there, but afterwards I will drop it in the description below this video today. All right. So the share link, and I'm going to give that to you now as well. Before I show you what it looks like, I'm just going to create a public link. And there you go. That is the public link, which means is you can go download it into your account. All right. So with all that being said, let me just quickly open up these pages so that you guys can see what we've done as a very quick recap. I don't want you guys to wait too long for all the other fun things that we are going to do. Let me just go and open that one. And then open up another one. And then I'm going to start sharing my screen. Just 2 seconds. All right, so I can share now. Share screen. All right, so the very first thing that you are going to see now is the one that we found. This is the page kind of thing that we created something similar in our builder. Right. And remember, we haven't copied exactly every single panel, because with templates out there, they normally do give you an option to use certain pages or not, and then you can delete what you don't need. But we've done quite a lot that's similar to this page. So you will recognize this. If I'm going to show you now our page, you're going to see that it's got a lot of the same elements. So I'm going to close that one, and let's look at ours. This is the one that we've created. So I'm just going to refresh it quickly. You can see we've got our little button that hopped on the screen as well. We've got all the exact same things at the top of the panel. Here at the bottom, before I scroll further, last week we added our monthly events here at the bottom. You guys can see it's a fixed bar that is sitting right there. And as I move, it stays at the bottom. So last week I explained why this was important, especially if you are running promotions or you want to notify them and you want to see it all the time. So we just added that little bit of extra. Then we created this panel right here. And you'll see the little star that we've added in here. The previous week, they were a lot bigger, but I was just playing around to show you guys that you can have multiple of this all over the screen to actually make it a little bit more interesting. If I scroll, that star's changing, as you guys can see there on the left. And then we are getting to the feature where you hover over these. And that's why we say to you guys, if you want to have these effects, make sure that you go watch the playlist.
Yeah.
Go down. You can see here's our images, or rather say buttons that leads to other places on our website. There is our images, our success stories where you're going to add your info in. Obviously, I didn't add in text and things because you guys know what that is about. I showed you how to make use of Lottie files and images that moves like this one right here. And then we've added also an FAQ where you can just click for the answers, and then the one at the bottom, as well as our top footer at the bottom as well. So you guys can see that we've literally taken an existing template online and we just recreated it. Oh yeah, and the other thing, before I forgot, the thing that we've also added, you can see how this disappears. We've got our main menu, and as I scroll, the main menu disappeared and it's giving you the free quote at the top so that people know that they can get a free quote. So you can see how that is changing. That is something extra that we've added to it as a little bit of a more advanced type of feature. So that is basically what we've done in the previous session, and that's why it took us 3 weeks to actually 4 weeks to get it to that level. So I would love to know from people what would they like to see us build, or what do you have in mind for today?
Yeah, I do want to say a couple things. I want people to know that we're not taking a design. This is about inspiration, right? So it's really important for us to look at multiple templates and maybe combine everything into one design. If let's say you look at 3, 4, 5 different templates, you like an element or two of each of them, you can bring those over to your concept and create your own idea from multiple different panels on different websites. So maybe that's the exercise we can do, Jackie. I'm thinking we went with a playful design the first time, with that preschool, really vibrant, really fun, really playful. Maybe we can do something a little bit more serious, right? Something like a high-end restaurant or a corporate office or something of that sort, I think would be really cool for us to explore.
I think a restaurant would be a very good idea. Beautiful. I think that would be like a takeaway type of thing with a menu or something in that line. So let's are we going to use the same? I think we can use the same what you call it, the theme forest to find something like this.
Sure, I was using Envato.
Envato, that's the other.
We can use theme forest too.
Would you like to look for one and share your screen?
Sure.
And choose one for us? Sure. Otherwise, people are going to think I'm prepared. Sometimes you need to be thrown into the deep end,
I'd love to. Here, let me start sharing my screen.
And that is exactly what you say. We can find inspiration from the internet, but you need to still make it your own and add your own ideas to it.
Yeah, and I'll kind of walk through what I'm thinking. I love when we have that top hero area that fills the screen, that's really full, that's really vibrant. I like darker tones. I think that gives like a really elegant look, something really bold, something masculine or more on the masculine side. Actually picked one right before I started my screen share. I love this header here. I really like what's happening. I don't know if I love the rest of the website. The rest of the website, I'm not like a huge fan of.
Okay, I get what you say. But
So
that is where you can mix and match.
that's exactly what I'm thinking. So, I like this header area. Let's go back to Envato. Let's keep looking here. This looks like a good option here. I'm looking at these tiny little images, and I want to quickly filter through and see what I might like or dislike. I think this is a little too fun for me. So let's go ahead and just look at these. And what's nice about Envato is that you can look at the live preview and see
Yes.
the website in action, right? So, okay, so this is one website. I'm going to scroll through and kind of give my thoughts. Let's look at this one here. Sometimes it's confusing to actually get to the website itself, but this is it.
Yeah.
Again, I like what's happening here on the big image with the slider. Oh, this is a nice animation where it kind of like comes in and out. This is nice. I love the pictures in the background. I think you eat with your eyes first.
Yeah.
For me, if I can just look at pictures of food, I'm sort of okay. You know what I mean? So I love what's happening. I like this darker tone. I like how the logo, is in the middle. It kind of pops out. It's pretty classy. So I like this.
Very.
Let's scroll through, see the rest of the website. Ooh, I love what's happening here. I know we can do this on Builderall.
Yes, we can.
But let's give this a go. So I love this second panel here. As you scroll, you get
images underneath.
Yeah, I love this. This is great. That
will take a little bit of it's easy to configure it to get it exactly the boxes over it, but it's not impossible at all. I actually like that challenge. I think that's one of the things we have to add.
Beautiful. All right, so we can challenge ourselves with this. Again, I like what's happening here with the menu. This is pretty cool. This website is really heavy on that parallax feature or that fixed screen element.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of overused though, a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little bit overused. I agree.
Yeah. This change in the menu is nice, although I will say it makes the logo a little too small for me. You see here when you're at the top of the page, it's sort of this transparent menu, but then as you start scrolling, you have this.
I would have changed that when you scroll to booking. Make your booking now. As you scroll, it changes from the menu to make your booking now. Like attention grabbing, maybe a highlighted color at the top.
Yeah. So far we have consensus on like a really big image at the top
with the rotation banner kind of thing. Different fonts and different. Yes, I hear what you say.
And then maybe here as a second element, we have something like this where we have 3 boxes and this scroll animation or feature functionality, whatever we want to call this, in the background. I love this.
Maybe we should start with those 2.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let me share.
Can we share that link with me? Yes.
Yes, so we can share. We can actually just go ahead and share this one because it has both of those elements.
Yes.
But I just want to say, like, as we go through multiple websites, getting inspiration from these, I think is really nice. And what is common between them is this menu placement, the fact that as you scroll, you get a change, and the big rotating banner. So let me give you this URL. Here, I'm going to toss it into our WhatsApp chat. And we can get started. I'm actually really excited now. And it's interesting because if we start it this way, Jackie, then as the different sessions develop, we can start pulling out, new inspiration from different websites and then end up with something completely new. So I'm going to stop my screen share and I think this is a really nice place to start. And I'm actually going to follow along with you on my account here on the side, just to make sure that I'm understanding everything, and we can do everything really easily.
Awesome. Let me just go here and save that link. Just a second. All right. Cool. All right, so let's share that one now again. We're going to start with the banner and discuss this banner first, because, I mean, before you start building something, you need to understand what are the type of elements that you are going to need.
Yeah. Sorry, I stopped your screen share because I thought you wanted to share your screen. I think you're sharing more.
It was my screen, wasn't it?
No,
it was your screen.
I'm going to stop mine. Here you go. Sorry.
I thought it was my screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so the first thing that you have to do when you take a look at building something similar or likewise, like we've got here, you need to look at the different kinds of elements. And that's why it's also important to get to know and the type of elements that's available in Builderall. Because many times you're going to have clients and they're going to say, can you build this? Because I like to always tell my clients, you know what, if you don't know what you like, go take a look at websites online and share those links with me. And then many times they will come back and say, Jackie, can you do this? So you don't want to tell them, I don't know. You need to understand what is the type of elements available in Builderall. So when you look at this and you see the very first thing in the middle, it's the wording that's changing. And the buttons, one that says flavor meets elegance, view menu, and experience flavor creations, view menu. That might be different menus. One could be a dessert, one could be a main course, that kind of thing. All right. And that is a rotation banner that is basically being used on top of a fixed image in the background. All right. So it's an image that was uploaded that you've created in Canva, with a rotation banner on top that is transparent, all right? And you set it up to move like that. So that's point number one. Point number two, because we've got the logo in the middle with the two menus on the side, there's two things that you have to remember. You're going to have to make this different on your mobile. And the reason why I'm saying this is people will get confused, because if you create your menu bar like that on exactly like that on your desktop for mobile, there's going to be two burger menus inside of mobile, which is going to make it a little bit more complicated, because then they're going to have to click around, and you need to make sure that you don't put them into that position where they have to click and close and click and close. All right, it's minimal. So those are the two main things that you have to consider. Now, with the banner that you see in the background, that background is definitely being highlighted with an image and a transparency above it. So let's start with the background first by making use of Canva. So I'm just going to go open up my Canva account here quickly. You guys will see it happening right here on my screen. And the first thing we're going to do is a custom size, and it's normally 1920 by 600. You can change it, adjust it if you want to, but that's the norm out there for our websites most of the time. I might be wrong, but that is what I use. And then we are going to go and look under photos, and we need to look for food or seafood, or depends on which restaurant you are. Maybe you are in pizza. Let's say pizza background or something like that. You can see there is one there. So now it is the biggest, I think your most difficult part here is choosing an image. Sure. Because to get the right image where you need to, that is going to be enticing, like Pia said earlier, that is super important. I mean, that is definitely not going to work because we want a large image.
Yeah, and we can go through this process. I have a lot of experience in the photography industry. I can sort of give my thoughts about this here.
Please do so.
I want you guys to separate two things. I want everyone to stop thinking about photography and photography for marketing the same way. All right. Sometimes what makes a really beautiful image doesn't work as a promotional or a piece of promotional content, right? Sometimes there isn't enough space to add text, and that's something that we need to be aware of. All of these are going to have text either on them or somewhere in the picture, right? So we want to keep room. Images like this, like what you have right now, Jackie, is great. If you want to overlay the images, also pick images that aren't really so busy that we sort of lose focus here. And I have, Jackie, can I steal the screen share again?
Yes, you can. Let me stop sharing mine. There we go.
Here we go. I have this website open, and it's called pexels.com. It's a free, royalty-free website that you can use to access free photos and videos to use for marketing. You should give some sort of shout out to the actual user or the actual photographer that comes out with these images. But let's scroll through here together and talk about an image that maybe be really good for marketing and maybe an image that isn't. So immediately I look at this image, it's a great picture, right? It's a great image, but it doesn't really work for marketing because of there's a lot of white here and the image is kind of busy. So if I wanted to use it, I'm going to need to overlay it with some sort of black or, to darken it a little bit to leave room. So if this isn't my perfect image, I can move on and pick something else. Something like this can seem really busy, but with the right overlay, you can imagine, like your copy going in here in the middle, big, bold, white text that can be a good use. Something like this is great. Let's look at some things to avoid. I would avoid something like this because, first of all, it's so clearly a stock image.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's really not enticing. For food, it's really not an exciting image. I know it's trying to be with the chives all over the place, but I don't think it works for a website use.
No.
So just some things to keep in mind. Images like this, these are great. Shows motion, you see salt, it's kind of exciting, you're curious, what's in the bowl? So you can use an image like this, that would be nice. But for our purposes, we want something with some nice dimension. So just some notes here, some thoughts about photography and using photography in images. Something like this is perfect. Something like this is actually great. If you do desserts, we want to go for this upscale theme, right? So maybe I think this is a really nice image, Jackie. Here, I'll share this with you. I think something like this is really interesting. It's vibrant. It's it's exciting. You imagine you land on a website and you see this, on the hero area. You're interested.
Definitely.
So, this is definitely something that'll keep you around. Something like this is also fun. It's interesting. I think less so than the grilling. And maybe we can look at some more in this theme. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I think this is a one of one. So I think the picture we picked earlier was good. Now, I will say for stock photography, if you want really high-end images, you'll probably find your best stock images through either Shutterstock or some other, paid or premium royalty-free website. But Pexels works just fine in a pinch. So I shared with you that image.
I got it.
Really cool. We can start with this. We can go ahead and select a couple of others and get those going as well. But I just wanted to give my little 2 cents here.
Awesome. Yes, I've added it. It's just the only thing is the cut off of the utensil if we're going to have to across the page. But I am sure we get the point there. If we have to make it a big across the whole page, let me just do that.
Yeah, it's big. I see what you're saying.
Then it's too big. But here is a nice one as well.
It is.
For a seafood restaurant. I don't know if it's too not enticing enough, but here you're going to have to overlay as well. And I mean, if you place an overlay, let's just add a square just for an example, and we just stretch it.
How tall is that image?
The
panel itself
1920
by what?
600.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe making it like the full screen. That could be interesting. So
yeah, that's the whole idea, with the full screen. So like the one that I've got here with the overlay, this whole thing is whole screen.
Yeah, I mean like by 1080 height.
Oh, 1080.
Yeah.
To make 1080, not 1920.
Well, 1920 by 1080, not by.
Okay, let's try that one.
Right, because that'll fill up my whole screen, and that could give us, a lot of more room to play.
Okay, let's do that. Let's see how that one's going to work. Okay. And are we going to overlay it?
Yes.
Right, and we'll do it like this. I'm going to go with the blackish, or we can go another color as well, but we just want it to stand out. Let's see what another color would look like if we choose another type of. What color would be the best for you to go with?
I would keep it black, but for this case, because the image is sort of dark to begin with, I would lower the transparency more than that. For this image, yeah. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, something like this gives us.
We can use white. All right, let's download this one.
Oh, so for the text, it would be white. I think that would.
Yeah, the text definitely. All right, so we're going to compress this image. Always remember, guys, we spoke about it previously. I'm just not going to go now to tiny PNG and compress it even more, but it is really important that you guys go do that. Otherwise, you might say, like, this is 1 meg. It's really it's like 905, but it's way too big for your homepage. So if we're going to go back, let's start a new blank website. And then bring that one in for us. Am I sharing my screen? Yes, I am.
Yes.
Select. I have done sessions before where I've gone through the whole thing and I've never shared my screen and I never looked up. That was
definitely sharing
horrifying. All right, so I always delete everything on the screen so that I know what I'm going to work with. Now, there's 2 things, guys, that you can do. You can upload it as a background of the whole website, but because this is the hero image, we're just going to go with the panel. All right, so I'm going to right-click on the panel, and we're going to go to change, and let's upload it. There is our image. And that is another thing. If you're an SEO person that loves to do SEO, please don't name it on title design. Give it a name as to what your keyword is of the page, because Google do see those things and it does read the text. Untitled is not going to do anything good for your website.
That's true.
So I'm just mentioning it now, but for the sake of this exercise, we are just uploading it so that we can get going with it. All right, so now we're going to apply. All right, so we can have it stretched out so that our top piece could be completely the banner. I'm going to click save because we just do not want to lose what we've just done. And then we are going to start with the next round. And I'm going to say publish my website so that we've got a live site to play around with. So now we've got that, but now we need to take a look at, we'll worry about the menu a little bit later. For now, we want to create something similar that they've got right here, which means it's our rotation banner. So the next stop is going to be rotation banner under the elements area. And I'm just going to take the white one so it's easier to work with because it's going to stand out now. And so that we can at least see a little bit. And I just want to, I'm just switching off my phone sound. Sorry there for a second. And I'm going to go to the 2. And the first thing I'm doing is removing them. I just want to work with one panel or one section. You can see we've got group 1, group 2, or slider page. So I'm just deleting the other pages. So we only have the one. And then we start deleting these items that we don't need because we want to start from scratch. And then think about your text. Remember we said previously sessions that you can go to the global fonts area and choose a specific text from the beginning, which is a really important thing. And think about your brand, the color of your brand, your font. And it needs to be consistent across everything that you do. If you're going to have the one type of brand on your website, it's the same going to be on your social media, same into everything that you do. So it is really good to think about that in advance. Now, here you can see that the text of the main heading is different from the other ones. And we kind of want to do the same thing. I'm not going to go and set that up now, but we're going to go and find something similar. You will see I'm not playing around with the backgrounds or anything because we know our background is dark and the default is normally dark when we start placing our elements. But like I said before, I am one of those people that do not want to reinvent the wheel. I'll just go to the panels and go grab some text that's already existing. And then I can just drag and drop the text that is available.
Sure.
So I know that we've got, here is one of that is in white. So, or even this one. I'm just going to click on this. And I want to do this on purpose because I want to show you that we've got some panels even for restaurants that is amazing. So if I write,
say that's pretty nice, Jackie. That's a pretty nice one.
Exactly. I just want to increase the size so they can see what this looks like. Oops, not that size. That one. So you guys can see, let me just do this. I'm just going to add another panel. That's blank. So we can pull this up. And this is, oh man, it makes me so hungry. So yes, you guys can see we've got beautiful templates ourselves that you can use. But now for this sake of this exercise, the only reason I did it is because I want to make use of this block that we've got right here, and I don't have to redo it. I can just go and change the titles and things like that. Now, because we already got it in white, let's go here. And I am going to go and change the rotation banner's color. First, we're going to have it on autoplay, and we're going to remove the arrow because we don't want people to be in control of these things when it scrolls, all right? So that is not going to be there. The size and those things we will play with a little bit later. And then the general colors. You come by the general colors. This is when we're going to start making things transparent, all right? You're going to see that we've got the round borders, all of that. And now the inside is the same thing, the slider page. We first had to do the group. Now we are doing the slider page, which is the insides of that specific rotation banner. So now you can see that it is complete. It looks like there's nothing on the page, but when I hover, you can see that it is actually there. So now let's go and grab this block. And I'm just going to drop it in there and then remove this at the bottom so we don't get too much confused. And then we're going to change this text here to some text that we would like to see. Maybe that is not something that we like. I'm actually going to discard this, and I'm telling you why I'm doing it. I want to go take a look at what is the best one here because you can actually see it. So you need to go and find a text, obviously thinking about your brands on what is nice. So let's see, Book Antiqua. I think that could be a nice one. And let's see if I scroll a little bit further. What else is there available? That looks very nice. Frank Rule Libre Bold. I think that is an awesome one to use. So let's go to Frank Libre. I can't even pronounce it or say it. But it's Frank something. So let's go look for Frank. Frank, there we go. There we go. That is, oh, I will freak out. That is such a beautiful
That is
font.
really nice, isn't it?
Oh, that is so nice. I agree. So we've got the title here. I don't know what our place is going to be called. See, Barbecue Mania. I don't know what we want to call our titles, but
yeah. If anyone in the comment section wants to give us a name for this website, please go ahead. We'll take a look. And again, this is a live session, so if anyone has any questions, drop them in.
I think what would be great if our rotation banner could be one is a seafood barbecue, the other one could be a beef barbecue, and the other one could be a dessert barbecue. Because believe it, in my country, we do have dessert barbecues. We braai marshmallows. I don't know if you barbecue marshmallows where you are.
We have s'mores. We have s'mores.
It's basically the same thing, I guess.
Nice. Nice.
So I think we should have that as our menu when it comes to our thing here. So this could be, I don't know if somebody is going to give us something, but let me start with the first one. Yeah. And we'll just call this dessert. It's not desert, dessert. And in my country, it's not a barbecue, by the way. It's a braai. That's what you say it in my country.
Braai. How do you spell that?
BRAAI. It's a braai.
Huh. That's interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious about the how this word came about, but I think that's a different session for a different show.
on its own, yes. And okay, do we just want to go for? I was thinking we could just have the secondary text.
Let's try something like a sans serif. Maybe that Hebo could work. Lado can work.
Lado.
Muli can work.
Muli.
Excuse me, sorry, my cat is completely barging into this stream.
That looks great. Okay.
Yeah, could we lose the italicized text? You see that? Yeah, in the reference. In the reference one, it's like it's a smaller with a more earthier tone for the text.
Okay, let's just write savor. How do you write? I don't even know savor. Savor.
Oh, savor. Okay, I thought you wanted
savor. Savor the moment, something like that. I'm not somebody that is very good when
it comes to all caps. Sorry, I'm designing by committee here. I think all caps.
Savor the moment. Savor the moment. All right, and then make it slightly smaller.
Well, a lot smaller, maybe like a 20.
Let's see what it's going to look like. A lot smaller. You guess right.
I'm good at very few things, Jackie. This might be one of them.
I don't believe you. So we've got savor the moment, we've got a barbecue, and then we've got, what are we going to say at the bottom?
We can say something like experience the unique barbecued 5-course tasting menu. We can workshop this headline here.
Experience barbecue.
Maybe our unique barbecue 5-course tasting menu.
Our
barbecue
unique
tasting menu.
Tasty.
Tasting ing. If you're if you're a foodie like I am, tasting menus become very interesting. That's when you go and they have, let's say, 5-7 courses sometimes, and you get to just try different things. So the object isn't for you to go and eat a plate of Alfredo. You know what I mean? It's to go
explore.
Right, exactly. And we have explore our menu, or we have here view menu. I like view menu. I think it's classy. I think it's really, appropriately sized in the reference, I think that's really nice too.
Okay, so let's go do the background's going to go missing. I'm not going to worry about the hover now. Let's just do the border. I'm going to do the black. I'm going to choose the line. Is that the same type of thing? They've got a white one, so we need to go white.
Yeah, I think they have a single line, not a double line.
Single. Give us the same type of feeling, not as thick.
There you go. And then with the rounded edges.
How much round? Completely round? Yes. I think that is around 30.
Beautiful. Okay.
All right. So now we need to get a decision as to how big and where we are going to place it in our rotation banner. So there it is. We're going to bring this.
Could we just center the whole thing? Like center the text in the boxes and then.
Yes, I'm going to do that right away. I just want to stretch it to the page so that we can have it in exactly the same spaces.
They do have this icon that I find really interesting. Maybe we can do something similar to the reference. They have this like design, I guess, this icon in between the top, where we have like savor the moment and dessert barbecue.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Maybe we can
color.
Yeah, we can spend the time here, change the color, really, dial in this top menu. And I'm thinking maybe we can use Magic Text AI to come up with like a forward alteration to something like, where flavor meets elegance or something like that.
Yeah.
And we can ask ChatGPT or ask Magic Text, which is run by ChatGPT, to kind of give us some more options. That could be interesting.
Okay. So are we going to do the top one first now?
Yes.
With that Magic Text. What type of text would you like?
Actually, I think the top one is fine. We don't need any changes here, but this the where it says dessert barbecue could be interesting to
see what it comes up with.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, type that we like to generate as headline samples. What type of business? Barbecue restaurants. What type of product, service, promotion, feature, benefit you want to advertise with the text? Menu. Exclusive.
Exclusive, flavorful barbecue menu.
Flavorful barbecue menu. Let's see what it comes up with. Discover our exquisite barbecue menu bursting with exclusive flavors.
I don't like I'm not in love. Sorry, go ahead.
Indulge in a unique culinary experience with our mouth-watering offerings. That's too long. Savor the rich taste of our specialty barbecue dishes for an unforgettable meal.
So I dislike all three, but I do like indulge in a unique culinary experience. Maybe we can use indulge in a unique barbecue experience, and just leave it at that.
All right. Indulge in a unique culinary barbecue experience.
Yeah, and we can remove the word culinary. See what that looks like without it. Indulge in a unique barbecue experience.
And we still need to get our icon here in the middle as well.
Yeah.
And we need to look for an icon that's similar. that we can use and the color. So if we're going to quickly go to Canva and we'll just do logo, because logo is the best one to use for such small images, elements, and let's say stars. Ah, there it is, right there. And we can just use the same one. What color are we going to make it? Yellow.
Yeah, I think that's a decision we're going to need to make, right? Because on the main website, the color of the icon matches that top sentence.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sorry.
So it means that we're going to have to go with something that is going to fit ours.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like a not gold, orangey.
Yeah, maybe like a copper.
A copper
like a
kind
copper
of
color.
yeah.
Here, let's see.
What have they got there next to each other? It's not exactly the same that they've got. That star is different. I just want to see what else is here.
Yeah, I think. Actually, hold on. Can you scroll up a little bit? That one is actually the one you chose works for me.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we can change the color, I went ahead and I Googled what the standard copper color is, and I'm gonna just share that hex code with you.
Okay.
And we can see what that looks like. You know, I'm not like married to the color, but
okay.
How do we feel about that?
Is it going to be standing out?
Should it stand out? I think.
Well, we're going to make the same color, the top one as well. That's
Right.
what they've got, like.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Could you change that text? The text color. You can see how it looks without exporting and doing that whole thing.
Oh yeah, it will. What do you think?
I think it's too orange.
It disappears.
Right. Well, it doesn't give the same effect. Could you just show could you go back to the reference design just so our viewers can see what we're.
What about that one?
Now I think it's too much.
It's like a beige.
Yeah.
It looks like beige. Let's just check quickly a beige color here.
Okay.
Let me just grab this color. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go with this.
That's better.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go and download this one, and it's going to be transparent.
Nice. And I think, for all the viewers, anyone who's been part of any creative process, you can relate with what just happened. You pick a color, not quite right, so you pick again, and then so on and so forth until you get the right one, which is totally fine. I think a lot of times people spend so much energy trying to get it right from the first time, when really what you want to do is just try, as many shots on target as possible, and then, you end up in a good spot.
I think the save of the moment needs to be a lot smaller even.
Yeah, I agree.
There we go. It
Can we
starts
change the bottom sentence? The bottom sentence feels a little
land.
weak. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see what magic text is going to give us here. Savor the mouth-watering dishes made with premium ingredients.
Or a diverse selection of specialty barbecue dishes. Could we combine these two? Explore the diverse selection of specialty barbecue dishes made with premium ingredients.
Okay, let's see.
Or made with the finest ingredients, something like that.
Something like this. It's a lot better.
Yeah, and maybe we can, maybe like adding some space between the big bold headline and everything else on top and below.
I think we need to increase this, make this big.
Yeah, I think in a reference, they had it so that it's like a double line. And I think that's an intentional design decision. Something like this is actually better. Just the fact that it, like, the line breaks.
Let's go a little bit bigger than that. I don't think I'm pushing it a bit, but let's see.
Don't hate it. I was worried for a second, but I don't hate it.
Worried for a second. What do you think?
I think this works. I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So
now you're going to have to think about the second one, because I mean we want 3 of them, 3 scrolling with different words. So this is the entry point. Then we're going to duplicate this, and we have to change this again.
Beautiful.
So to go to the next slider, you just duplicate.
Okay.
Click on it again and duplicate again. Now the easy part of the struggling to create it is gone. Now you just need to go and change number 1 and 2 text.
So let's think about this creatively. If I were a restaurant, what do I want to tell my potential visitors? They come in, they're looking for a really high-end, really premium barbecue experience. I want to say something about the ingredients that I'm using. Maybe the freshness. Maybe it's locally farmed. Maybe it's something that has to do with, do I grow my own herbs? Do I have my own like farm to table setting? So maybe we can talk about that, right? Maybe we can do that. So farm to table.
Organic, being organic. Everybody these days are health-wise, no hormones, hormone-free or.
Right. So let's throw that into magic text and say, give me. Yeah, there we go. So, farm to table organic food.
Farm to table. I don't know why I made that a capital letter. What type of product and service? What can we write here? It's just a menu.
Yeah. Well, I want freshness of flavors, freshness of ingredients, richness of flavors, things of that nature.
Let's just leave it freshness of ingredients. Experience the essence of freshness with our farm-to-table organic foods, straight from our fields to your table. I like that. Enjoy the purity of fresh ingredients. Elevate your culinary experience with utmost freshness from farm to table.
Here's what I think, and maybe we can talk about this a little bit more. I don't like the use of the word freshness. You know what I mean? Because fresh kind of clashes with the concept. You look at the picture, you don't think fresh. You think like mouth-watering.
Yes.
You think
Yes.
something
Fresh is vegetables.
right,
Fresh
exactly.
is salad.
Like a basil, right?
Yeah.
Right. We have like a big chunk of meat on a barbecue. We want to say, so I like the straight from our fields to your table, but maybe like end it different. Or elevate your culinary experience with farm to table, with
We did say straight.
straight. So like we can just say from farm to table.
It looks so short.
Yeah, from farm to table. It needs something more, but maybe then it's too long.
From farm to table. What about something like making it in front of you, kind of thing? It doesn't happen behind the scenes. It's literally in front of you. The food are being cooked.
Okay.
Because this is what this guy is doing. It's like
right. Oh, I see we have some people in chat. Hey, Rich, Clarabelle, welcome this morning. Thanks for joining us. Sizzling hot. Ooh, okay. Okay. Keep going, Jackie. You're on something.
I'm getting hungry. Like I want that meat.
Yeah, because I'm thinking now like mouth-watering, sizzling, things of that nature. I think that's awesome. Sizzling hot. Here, let's brainstorm. I have to write things down to brainstorm. So I'm just gonna go
I think the people in the comments start telling us, what do you think we could add here that would be
at your
really
table.
catchy?
Ooh, okay. All right. Clarabelle coming in with the ideas. She said at your table. Sizzling hot.
Not drop. Drop sounds weird.
So typically when you have something made at your table, it would be called like tableside, or something of that nature. So maybe we can do I don't hate it. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Let's
you could make it very funny. Yeah. I mean, it's not supposed to be a funny sight, but like you can still hear it. You can still hear it moo, but no. Okay.
Yeah.
Sizzling hot tableside dinner. We need to get to
the I don't hate it. All right. We can go one more.
All right. So we're not going to worry about the rest on this page. Let's just go to the next one and change this heading. Yeah. What are we going to do with this one?
Let's do something that says like mouth-watering, locally farmed, homegrown ingredients. Let's write all of those down, and then maybe we can see if it's too long.
Mouth-watering, locally found. What did you say? Mouth-watering, locally found?
Locally farmed. FARM, yeah.
That doesn't look too bad.
Mouth-watering, local. Well, I think that we have a clash in these two concepts, right?
Yeah, it's two different things.
Because you think like mouth-watering, you're thinking. You think meat when you say mouth-watering, which is good, right? But then when you say locally farmed, back to your vegetable idea, I think we're,
Yeah, and a cow is not farmed.
So funny enough, like that is the term that's used here in the US.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh
when you
my
say like
word.
locally farmed ingredients, or sourced from local farms, community grown, things like that. But I wanna say like mouth-watering, fresh food. But I don't want to use the word fresh. So mouth-watering. Here, we're gonna Google it. And I like to go through like a thesaurus. We go to a thesaurus, and we look at synonyms for fresh. Unprocessed, that's good. Natural, that's good. I don't know. We're getting stuck here, I feel. Mouth-watering. We already said something about table side, right?
Yes. I just know my mouth is now watering.
So let's just say mouth-watering ingredients.
Okay. So at least we've got
Made
that.
fresh.
So,
Made fresh. Can we add made fresh? Like mouth-watering, comma, made fresh. Okay. I don't hate it too much either. I think there's a better version. There's a better version of this that can happen if we like spend a little
more time on it, yes.
Yeah.
But obviously we don't want to.
Yeah, we're gonna spend our whole hour here, which we're at.
Talking about what's the best headline. But I mean, it's supposed to know that it's very important.
I mean, the point of this, the point of this exercise is to go through every step and make sure like we really like the final product. We want to show people what it actually looks like creating a website, and it kind of looks like this. Especially if you have me in the background, just changing things on you. I think it would be a lot faster if.
No, I'm not the marketing expert here.
Well, we're not looking for speed, right? We're looking to have an awesome page, which you have successfully built. I think this is great. Could we see the live site and see like the scroll?
Yes. We need to change that. So let's just go back to the group and decide how we want this to happen. Autoplay, arrow.
Could you take us through the slider effects?
Yes. Let me just go to group, and I'm just going to open it on the site so that we can see it better.
Yeah.
So your slider effects is here. You can fade in and out, and then you can have slider. The slider padding is not going to apply here because you're not going to see it. Yeah. So we can either let it slide or do fade in and out. I think the fade in and out is going to look really nice.
What does that look like? Can you show us?
So I'm going to show you what that one looks like first. Let's just save that one. I think it's one of my favorites. I like the slider more when it's like testimonials, that kind of thing. So let me just close and hit preview. Okay, let's just refresh. Let me just go to the live site. I don't know why I closed that. All right.
Claribel coming in with the ideas. Crafted fresh with mouth-watering ingredients. We should add that. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
So this is basically, it changes.
Yes. Could we make it slower? Could we make the fade?
Yes. So to go slower, it's here. Autoplay time. Even slower. That's. I think slower is back.
We'll find out.
Which one we crafted fresh with mouth-watering ingredients?
Yes. Yeah, could you duplicate? Oh, okay, yeah, we can just replace. I think Clarabelle's is better than this one.
Crafted fresh with mouth-watering ingredients. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Let's just hit save again. Publish.
I think you made it fast.
Yeah, that's super fast. Good luck for that one that's going to read that. So it's not 3,000. We're going to have to do it more than 3,000. It was on 3. Let's see what 5 is going to do. 5, 8. Publish. There we go. It's a lot slower. Maybe a little bit too slow.
Yeah, maybe too slow.
I think it should be maybe a 4,000.
Okay.
I think a 4,000 would be better.
Nice.
And then we'll go with yes. It really makes me want to eat.
Same. Yeah, I think that's great.
That's better. Yeah, that's definitely better. Cool. So
That
now we've got our front page.
Yeah. So
Now for our menu bar. You wanted to say?
well, I wanted to say we're at an hour, a little over an hour today. So I think
yes, do the menu next week.
yeah, I think that bottom section would be next week, and I think it's actually pretty nice. We went through and we really took our time, and created a really nice header area. And I'm excited to continue building this page and go through all the details. I think this is awesome. We're going to end up with a really cool website, and we'll see how it happens. Jackie, for our viewers, you and I have the email hero workshop happening later today. So
yes.
If anyone in the chat box has not yet registered, go ahead, go to builderall.com. You'll find a big banner there, and go ahead, sign up. We're going to show you how to create emails at 3 different levels. So this will be from beginner, first time sending an email, all the way to like email ninja, and show you all the things that you can do on the Builderall platform. So we're really excited about that.
Definitely. And especially if people want to do some tracking, that's a lot of people are always asking that question, how I can track how many people or who are visiting the page or who are opting in and from where, especially that question from where. Yes. So we're going to solve that problem tonight. For me, is it tonight? For you,
yeah, it's later in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yes. So make sure you guys are there. Definitely. It was fun. Thank you so much, guys, for watching us. We will see you guys next week. Yeah, the same time, same place. Thank you, Pierre, for being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you, guys. See you later. Bye.